Championship Wrestling here on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. We are coming to you live from the Dave Cave. My name is Dave Little, and I am so pleased to be bringing you this broadcast of exciting Heartland Championship Wrestling ladies action. We have three big matches lined up for you today, including a spectacular main event for the Heartland Ladies Championship. The champion Sherri Martel defends her title against the double tough Texan Angelus LAYNE. That will be our main event tonight. Earlier tonight we have already seen action with a couple of exciting debut matches here in the Heartland. First we saw Faye Jackson, the superstar from Toledo, Ohio, come up with an amazing upset victory over the veteran Jazz. So Faye Jackson makes her presence known here in the Heartland in her very first match. Next we saw another debut as Kris Statlander. She's a little bit out there, but she is a big lady and she is double tough. And she was also victorious in her debut match against Heidi Lovelace. And finally, then we saw the return of a brand new tag team. The return of an old tag team coming back to the Heartland for a return in the Global Green Gangsters. Kelly Skater and Tomoko Nakagawa. And it is a great return for them as they picked up a win over the team of Courtney Rush and Dust, also known as Paradise Lost. Skater and Nakagawa looking good in their return to action here in the Heartland. And finally, we saw Tessa Blanchard with a win over Barbie Hayden as she tries to make her way up the card. And we saw Mercedes Martinez get decimated by Sarah Del Rey. And Sarah Del Rey takes another step closer towards the Heartland Ladies Championship as we say good evening to Tribe Fan in the chat. As you may have noticed, I was having some technical difficulties getting things rolling, so please let me know, Tribe Fan, if you can hear this and if everything is looking good and sounding good, as it is great to be here. I'm experimenting with a little different setup for the dice rolling here tonight and for the cards to be set up. So let me know if this is looking good for you. Audio and video good. Thank you, Tribe Fan. So our first match of the night is a grudge match, pitting two very tough and very nasty individuals against one another, as SARAYA Knight is going to go to battle against Nicole Matthews. And these two have been going at it for some time, as well as their respective factions. We saw a Falls Count Anywhere match that took place 2 weeks ago at our Summer Spectacular pay-per-view, Freedom Festival 2020. And in that match, it was Rhea O'Reilly, who is the protege of SARAYA Knight, taking on Lufisto, who is an ally of Nicole Matthews and Portia Perez, the Canadian Ninjas. It was a throwdown between Rhea and Lufisto, and the Ninjas came out. Nicole and Portia came out to help Rhea, to help Lufisto against Rhea O'Reilly. And in the middle of that, SARAYA Knight came out to defend her protege, and the Ninjas pulled SARAYA into the stands and gave her a beatdown, and she is still a little sore, but she is vowing revenge. And Nicole Matthews was the one who delivered the chair shot that injured the leg of SARAYA. So SARAYA is a little bit hobbled tonight, but she is ready to go to take on Nicole Matthews in this no disqualification grudge match. Still goofing around with this dice tower. Thought I would try to get a little better control of my dice, and I think everything looks pretty good. But the way I've got things set up right now, I'm having a very hard time seeing the chat come through. So now I think we've got it. All right, so SARAYA Knight taking on Nicole Matthews in tonight's opening TV matchup. And the opening initiative roll, oh my goodness, right away we are going to the mayhem charts as Nicole Matthews is up to no good. And we are going to go to, I use the Face to the Mat Highlight Center booklet for my situations like this. And anytime the opening roll of the match is tied, and we don't know who's going to go first, we go to the wild card charts. And let's see what is going to happen here. It is a 32 for Nicole Matthews. Is she quick? She has an agility of +1. That is not quick. And so wrestler is seared with a blowtorch. Opponent scores 2 points. How about that? SARAYA Knight just went after Nicole Matthews with a blowtorch. No messing around here tonight in Columbus, Ohio, as SARAYA Knight is taking charge. And she is now going to fire punches into the midsection of Nicole. Nicole is shrieking in fear as SARAYA came after her with a blowtorch. The referee was quick to disarm SARAYA, but she got the jump. And she is now in charge, and she is going to go with a running Samoan drop down hard to the mat. And Nicole Matthews immediately is going to leave the ring. Maybe not what she wants to do, but she is a little stunned here. And on a roll of 7, that's going to be the helpless crawl. Nicole Matthews has to crawl back into the ring. Actually, SARAYA Knight grabs her by the hair and drags her back into the ring to do some more punishment. And she goes right to the bridled rocking horse submission hold. Oh my goodness, this is a painful hold. She pulls both shoulders back and holds the shoulders up in the air, hooks the legs, and rocks the opponent painfully back and forth. And Nicole Matthews may have to give this up already. You know, on a roll of 8, she's able to shake free of that, but already the damage has been done as SARAYA is coming out, all guns blazing. SARAYA now is going to pitch Nicole out of the ring. And on a roll of 10, we're going to see shenanigans. Shenanigans already here in the opening moments of this match. We've already seen SARAYA attempt a blowtorch maneuver. And now we are going to see some ringside mayhem. And it is going to be, on a roll of 9, the outside interference table. So right away, SARAYA Knight is going to be joined in this bout by Rhea O'Reilly. What is going to happen with Rhea O'Reilly? We are going to take a look at the outside interference chart. And on a roll of 8, Rhea comes in and slugs Nicole across the back of the head. The referee tries to get Rhea out of harm's way, but that's enough for SARAYA to take control again. And SARAYA now is going to go back to the bridled rocking horse. Here we go. Another potential submission. Roll of 1. Count of 2. And here comes Portia Perez. Portia Perez is coming down to ringside. Can she interfere? On a roll of 2 to 6, she's successful. She doesn't get there in time. And on a roll of 6, Nicole Matthews has to give it up. Oh my goodness. SARAYA Knight took the measure of Nicole Matthews right from the word go. Just dominated that situation. And in a matter of minutes, despite her injury, SARAYA Knight has put Nicole Matthews into a submission hold which she cannot escape, and Nicole Matthews has to give it up. Oh my goodness. That was quite a performance by SARAYA Knight to win that match. And because we rolled doubles at the end of a feud match, we're going to the feud table. This is an official Filsinger game table. I'll put it out here. And on a roll of 9, what's going to happen? As you're celebrating your victory, you are attacked from behind by an ally of the opponent. All of a sudden, an ally of yours rushes to the ring and a wild brawl involving all 4 wrestlers erupts. It takes the entire security force to break it up. When the smoke clears, the commissioner books the 4 wrestlers in a tag team super match. It's up to you. So there we have it. No surprises here. SARAYA and Rhea get into it with the Ninjas, and they are going to have a tag team grudge match in the near future. Yeah, Salvador America is in the chat room and proclaimed that SARAYA just opened up a can of whoop-ass. YouTube made me approve that comment before it could be posted. But Salvador America, this is wrestling, and when somebody opens up a can of whoop-ass, we ought to say so. And so SARAYA Knight is your winner here tonight, but we are going to see a feud match between these two tag teams. That will take place at the next Heartland pay-per-view broadcast. The next Heartland pay-per-view is scheduled for August the 8th, and it is entitled Pray for the Wicked. So at the Pray for the Wicked pay-per-view broadcast, we will see these four women, Rhea O'Reilly and SARAYA Knight, taking on Nicole Matthews and Portia Perez, the Great Britain team versus the Canada team, in a tag team grudge match. And that will be something else. All right, we are ready for match number 2. This is going to be a tag team match. And this has some very important stipulations involved as well. This is some serious wrestling competition. And coming to the ring already, we have the first team of SHAYNA BASZLER and NICOLE SAVOY. And these two are at the center of controversy. As you may know, these two both came from the MMA world, and they are both very accomplished ladies professional wrestlers. But and they held the Heartland Ladies Tag Team Championship for a very long time before losing those belts to the team known as Made in Sin, Allison Kay and Taylor Made. After the Made in Sin team took the tag team titles, the Nicole and SHAYNA exercised their rematch clause, and a rematch was set up last month in Milwaukee. And in that match, both teams were disqualified. It was a double disqualification. In the record books, that goes as a loss for the former champions, and that should have knocked them out of championship contention. But SHAYNA and Nicole appealed to the Heartland Commissioner, Epic Dave, and demanded another title shot because it was a double disqualification. And after further review, Epic Dave would not grant them a direct title match, but he said they could take on the current number one contenders, and if they could beat the number one contenders, then they would be granted their desired title match. Now, the new champions, Taylor Made, put another stipulation on that match. So, if SHAYNA and Nicole lose tonight's tag team match, then they will have to break up as a tag team. So it is do or die for SHAYNA and Nicole tonight. After a very successful run as champions, they are actually 4-time Heartland Ladies Tag Team Champions. But this may be all she wrote here tonight if SHAYNA and Nicole cannot defeat the number one contenders, Casey Spinelli and XANDRA BALE. Here is XANDRA and Casey. Casey is the one wearing the hat, and BALE is the lean, athletic, blonde wrestler. These two together are collectively known as BALE Spin, BALE and Spinelli. Both veterans of the sport, both very skilled grapplers. And they take a backseat to no one in wrestling competition, especially from the teamwork standpoint. So it is going to be a very intense match as SHAYNA and Nicole are fighting not only for another opportunity at the Heartland Ladies Tag Team Championship, they're fighting to keep their tag team intact. So let's get the dice set up for this next match as we welcome, let's see, we've still got Al and Tribe Fan and Salvador in the chat room. No apologies necessary. Salvador, we're all here to have a good time. All right, So it will be SHAYNA starting things off for the would-be challengers, and XANDRA BALE starting things off for BALE spin. And this is one of the biggest power differentials you'll ever see. XANDRA BALE is a very lean 5'3", 115 pounds out of Canada. She has a power rating of +3, which is almost as bad as it gets. Lower numbers are better. SHAYNA is a -2, but XANDRA does have the agility advantage in this opening matchup. And let's see what's going to happen. It is XANDRA who comes out with the opening move, and she goes for a single leg takedown, and down goes SHAYNA. SHAYNA quickly back to her feet. Both good grapplers. And now it is XANDRA who catches SHAYNA coming in and puts her over with the head scissors and down to the canvas, and SHAYNA is quickly down. XANDRA is going to go for the code red, that submission type maneuver. She's already got the opportunity for a submission, but SHAYNA kicks out of that one. And that is the first fatigue token of tonight's match. I also need to get the pin save counters here. Yeah, SHAYNA quickly in trouble, and XANDRA is in control. She is going to go for a fisherman neckbreaker, and SHAYNA goes down. XANDRA makes the tag to Casey, and they are going to put together a devastating double team move that is going to knock the stuffings out of SHAYNA. Nice double teaming by the team of BALE Spin as they teamed up on a double suplex to put SHAYNA down to the canvas. Casey in control and SHAYNA quickly in trouble. And Casey now is going to go for the perfect plex. Here's another pinning opportunity. Count of 1. Oh, and on a count of 2, SHAYNA kicks out, but she has already hit the 3 fatigue token mark, and she is in trouble with a chance to be pinned. Casey is going to follow up. What's she going to do now? She goes for the booty splash. And here's another pin attempt. The pin roll here is a 6, and since SHAYNA's got 3 fatigue tokens already, this is a one-time roll of 6 or lower. And NICOLE is going to come right in and try to save her partner. On a roll of 8, NICOLE is cut off from saving her partner. And on another roll of 8, SHAYNA just manages to kick out. SHAYNA now at 4 fatigue tokens, and the challengers have used their first pin save opportunity. You get 2 of those per match. Tag to XANDRA. Another double team coming up. And this time it is Casey holding SHAYNA while XANDRA comes in and hits her with an elbow smash. And XANDRA is now in control. SHAYNA staggers up to one knee. She has taken a beating early in this match. NICOLE, SAVOY at the corner trying to get in, but they have got the ring effectively cut off. As XANDRA goes with a hard kick to the chest of SHAYNA. SHAYNA still on one knee, and XANDRA is going to pull her up and whip her into the turnbuckle. Whip to the turnbuckle, here we go. And on a roll of 7, it is XANDRA with a big kick off of the turnbuckle to keep control. What's she going to do now? A flying drop kick from XANDRA. Oh, and SHAYNA is able to sidestep that one. SHAYNA may have an opening here, as she is going to grab XANDRA by the right arm and try to bend that arm back, but XANDRA ducks under that, pulls free, and XANDRA comes back with another head scissors to take SHAYNA over and down to the canvas once again. SHAYNA looked like she had the opportunity to escape, but XANDRA was able to sidestep the power move from SHAYNA, take her back over and down to the canvas with another head scissors. SHAYNA back to her feet, but still cut off from her partner. Here's another flying head scissors from XANDRA, and this time SHAYNA goes over and hits the canvas hard. SHAYNA down again. We are seeing some serious damage being done here, and now it's going to be the wheelbarrow bulldog from XANDRA. Nice move as she picks her up into a leg scissors and then pulls her upper body back over top of XANDRA and slams SHAYNA down hard onto the canvas in a bulldog style maneuver. Very nice move by XANDRA. She's going to go for another cover. The pin roll this time is a 7, so we're going to have another pin save. Nicole's going to have to use that last pin save. And oh, Nicole is going crazy. Nicole hits the ring. And it is now outside interference charge. On the outside interference chart, the roll of 6. Your ally, Nicole, attacks the opponent with a deadly specialty move. Roll a disqualification. On a 5 or lower, this will be a DQ. And oh, on a roll of 7, the referee lets it go. The referee lets it go, and if there is no disqualification, you recover and attack the opponent. So Nicole came in, used that last pin save wisely, drops the elbow on XANDRA, gets away with it, and SHAYNA is up and trying to do some damage here, and she is going to go for a single leg slam, and XANDRA hits the canvas hard. XANDRA is going to try and get over and make the tag. She does. SHAYNA also makes the tag, and we've got 2 fresh wrestlers now in the ring. But SHAYNA is in big trouble as a result of all the damage that she took. She's at 4 fatigue tokens, and the challengers have used both of their pin save attempts. Here we go with KC against Nicole, and it is Nicole who takes the initiative, and she goes right after KC with a big boot. Nicole is the more athletic of the two, so the big boot connects. KC is going to fire back with a attempted shoulder block, but Nicole ducks out of the way of that one, and it is Nicole who comes back and catches KC and takes her over and down hard to the canvas with a tiger suplex. Beautiful counter wrestling by Nicole SAVOY to take control of this match. KC slowly gets to her feet, and Nicole is going to go with the power slam. KC hits hard. Can she make the tag? No. Nicole remains in control, and now it's going to be a whip to the turnbuckle. KC comes off the turnbuckle, and oh, on a roll of 12. KC bounces off of the turnbuckle, and Nicole levels her with an incredible neck-breaking clothesline. Nicole SAVOY is in control now, and she is going to go for a death jump. She's going up to the top turnbuckle as KC is down. But on a roll of 5, KC gets up first. Rolls out of the way of harm, and Nicole splats down hard to the canvas, and she is shaken up. KC did well to get out of the way of that one. And what's KC going to do now? She is going to go for a death jump of her own. And on a roll of 5, this time it is Nicole who gets up first and grabs KC off of the top turnbuckle and throws KC down to the mat. So both these two had misadventures headed to the top turnbuckle, but it is Nicole who is now in control. And she is going to try for a front guillotine choke. Just slows things down. Slap on this submission hold. Both KC and Nicole are pretty gassed after that exchange of missed death jumps. Nicole holding that front face lock, that front guillotine choke hold, trying to work the submission. KC smartly is able to get her hand in between and prevent Nicole from cinching in that choke fully, and KC is up to one knee. Nicole now is going to go for, oh, she takes her up and over and down hard to the canvas with a butterfly suplex. Nicole is in control. KC gets back up, another power slam, and KC is going to try for the tag, and she cannot get there. Nicole has effectively cut off the ring. SHAYNA is still too tired to tag back into this match. So Nicole is going to stick with it. And it's another tiger suplex. And now we're going to have a pin chance. Count of 1. Oh, and KC kicked out of that one after that dragon suplex. Or excuse me, the tiger suplex. But Nicole is in control here. And she is going to pitch KC out of the ring. Out of the ring, no choice. Both of these ladies are A-rated on the arena floor. And let's see what's going to happen here. KC rolls, and on a roll of 6, it is KC who takes control, grabbing the opponent and smashing her onto the announcer's table. Will KC be disqualified for that? Of course not. That's just a good, these two are just going at it. And KC is now in control back in the ring. And KC is going to go for the spin cycle, that spinning neckbreaker finishing hold. The pin will be a 3-count pin, count of 1, count of 2, no pin save attempt, and on a count of 3, KC Spinelli has pinned Nicole SAVOY. Oh my goodness. Casey hit the spin cycle on Nicole, and that is your decision. Congratulations to the team of BALE Spin. Most everybody thought they were in over their heads against this very accomplished team of SHAYNA and NICOLE. But Casey Spinelli with the alert move with the spin cycle pins Nicole SAVOY, and that is the end of the title hopes for this team, and in fact that is the end of the team of Nicole and Shayna Baszler. The end of an era here in Heartland Ladies Wrestling, as the team of Nicole SAVOY and Shayna Baszler, after a tremendous run, 4-time Heartland Ladies Tag Team champions, and this team is no more. What a shocker here in Columbus. Casey and XANDRA are celebrating. And what's going to happen with Nicole and Shayna here? We'll do a little dice roll. And on a roll of 2, this was a shenanigans roll. If that had been a 5 or a 6, these two would have gone after each other with fists and fury. But on a roll of 2, there will be no aggression, and it's just going to be a teary-eyed hug and departing the ring together as friends and fellow warriors, but no longer as a tag team. Shayna Baszler and Nicole SAVOY go down to a shocking defeat here in Columbus. And Casey Spinelli and XANDRA BALE are able to retain their status as top contenders, and it will be this team of BALE Spin moving on to challenge for the titles against the current champions, Made in Sin, Allison Kay and Taylor Made. So that was a very dramatic tag team match, and kind of a sad moment here in Columbus, as the former tag team of Nicole SAVOY and Shayna Baszler forced to call it quits after a very successful run, 4-time champions of the Heartland Ladies Tag Team Division. So history has been made here in Columbus, and maybe not in the happy ending that Nicole and Shayna had hoped for, but they've had an incredible run, and they deserve all the congratulations that are accorded to them. All right, fans, thank you for checking that match out. And while we've got folks in the chat room, I would just like to thank you all. I haven't mentioned this yet, but the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network has now reached 200 subscribers. And I am thankful to each and every one of you for making the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network a very satisfying and fun experience for me. I got into this at the beginning of 2019, just partly on a whim and partly on the encouragement of other broadcasters like Al Red Sox fan and Ron Juckett, and following the example of guys like Al Wilson and Steve Tower. These guys were my inspirations, and I don't do New Year's resolutions, but every January I look for a new challenge and something new in the coming year. And in 2019, one of the things I decided to do was try my hand at YouTube streaming, and I have really enjoyed it. I enjoy the basketball. I enjoy the wrestling. I've played around a little with. I did a baseball tournament that was fun, and this has been great fun. My wife works a lot of weekends, so she's upstairs working right now and taking phone calls for the nurse line, and so I have the time on my hands, and I am delighted to be here broadcasting to friends that I've made virtually and people who I consider to be my friends. So thank you everybody for 200 subscribers. Also in the chat there are links to the Sports Simulations Replays Facebook group and the newly set up Sports Simulations and Replays Discord server. So if you are on Discord and you are checking out this broadcast, you can also log into the Discord server and we can chat about things in real time. Meanwhile, it's a challenge because it's now baseball season, and I love baseball. Nothing I love better than watching baseball. My Reds are on right now, and so to the side here, I've got my tablet set up, and I'm watching the game day broadcast of the Detroit Tigers Cincinnati Reds game. It's the bottom of the 7th, And the game is tied at 4 with Joey Votto at bat. He's got a count of 3 balls and 1 strike, facing Brian Garcia. Votto has already homered once in this game and homered in the season opener last night. He's got a runner on first and 2 outs, and he's trying to do something here. In play, no out, is the call from the game day broadcast, and we're waiting here with bated breath to see what happens. Joey Votto singles on a ground ball to right fielder Cameron Maben, Phillip Ervin to second. So now men on first and second with 2 men out. And at the plate is Eugenio Suarez. Runners at first and second. But anyhow, we've got a main event to get to. I could talk about baseball all day and into the night, but we have got a championship main event. And this is for the Heartland Ladies Championship. The current Heartland Ladies Champion is a familiar face to anybody who's been around the wrestling business since childhood. This is sensational Sherri Martel. She was a tremendous women's wrestler. She was also a manager and just a very big personality in the wrestling scene in the 80s into the 90s. She managed the Macho Man Randy Savage. She managed Shawn Michaels before he became the Heartland, the Heartbreak Kid. In fact, it was Sherri Martel's supposed influence behind the scenes that led Shawn Michaels to super kick Marty Jannetty through the window of Brutus Beefcake's barber shop. And so very famous as a wrestling personality, but a tremendous wrestler in her own right is Sherri Martel. She has been the Heartland Ladies Champion since March of this year. She had a very tough title defense 2 weeks ago at Freedom Festival 2020 with a successful win over the previously unbeaten challenger Kelly Klein. And now she is facing a former champion and a double tough lady in her own right, Angelus LAYNE, a tough lady out of the city of Hell, Michigan is where she is billed, although Angelus made most of her wrestling fame in the state of Texas. Angelus LAYNE herself is a former Heartland Ladies Champion. In fact, she had an amazing run in 2018 and 2019, held that belt for over a year. And now she is coming to throw down with Sherri Martel with the title on the line. This should be a slobber knocker. And here we go. The opening advantage goes to Angelus LAYNE. And Angelus starts off with a snapmare, taking Sherri over and down to the canvas. Sherri quickly back up, and they lock up once again. And now it is a headbutt. Oof! A nasty headbutt from Angelus LAYNE. Both ladies are shaken up by that. Angelus gets the better of it, and she is going to follow that up with a Irish whip. She doesn't whip Sherri into the turnbuckle. Instead, she throws her down, and now she's choking out Sherri with her boot. Angelus LAYNE has Sherri Martel down on the canvas and just choking away with that boot. Sherri is down, and Angelus showing the rough stuff early on. Sherri gets back to her feet, and Angelus picks her up and slams her to the canvas overhead with a bridging Northern Lights suplex. Very nice wrestling move and strong, solid impact as Sherri goes down hard and she stays down. Angelus LAYNE, the challenger, taking the fight to Sherri Martel here in the early going. And here's the bing, bang, boom, a huge double leg drop. Sherri takes the brunt of that, but gets back to her feet just in time for Angelus to pick her up and throw her down again with another bridging Northern Lights suplex. She goes for the cover. Sherri kicks out of that one right away, but Angelus LAYNE, the challenger, taking the fight to Sherri Martel right here in Columbus. What's she going to do now? Oh, here's the bing bang, which is a similar move, only this time she drops the elbow, and Sherri is still down. She's going to follow that up with the bing bang boom, the double leg drop. Sherri once again manages to finally get to her feet, and LAYNE is indeed laying the smackdown, says Salvador America. LAYNE now with a whip to the ropes. Sherri comes off the ropes, and on a roll of 8 is a hard back elbow from Angelus LAYNE that puts Sherri back down on her backside. Angelus is going to whip her to the turnbuckle this time. No, she's not. Instead, she is going to score with another devastating headbutt. Angelus using every weapon at her disposal, including her own cranium, to try and get advantage over Sherri Martel here in the beginning of this match. And now she's going to go back to that choke with the boot, and Sherri has had enough. Sherri has had enough. She just reaches up and sticks her thumbs in the eyes of Angelus Layne, as Angelus had her trapped in the corner with that boot choke. Angelus takes a step back, but she fires back with a cannonball against the corner. And Sherri is down, and Sherri is going to leave the ring. Out of the ring we go. Both these ladies can mix it up on the arena floor. And on a roll of 5, it is Sherri and Angelus in a wild brawl on the arena floor. Both wrestlers roll disqualification. The disqualification rolls are 5, but you got to roll them twice. Sherri is going to be disqualified. Will Angelus also be disqualified? No. So we have a disqualification. Sherri had taken enough punishment. She took the fight to the arena floor, and it turned into a throwdown, and Sherri got herself disqualified. We'll have to find out the reason for that. I've got a disqualification table that I use to deal with episodes like this. And on a roll of 5, it is... we'll have to check the disqualification table on that. So let me run over to my desktop computer. We'll pull up the disqualification table and figure out exactly what kind of shenanigans are going to happen after this decision. Oh, okay. Sherri Martel is very upset. She has been disqualified. And on a roll of 5, this is the disqualification table that we call the managerial turmoil. So Sherri is going to go find herself a manager to help her take care of some of this business outside the ring. Sherri is mean enough in her own right, but if she gets the right devious presence at ringside, who knows what kind of shenanigans may turn up. So there will be a rematch between these two, as Angelus is your winner by disqualification. Sherri Martel holds on to the Heartland Ladies Championship, but Angelus has earned her rematch, and we'll go ahead and book that for the pay-per-view on August the 8th. The Pray for the Wicked pay-per-view, and we're going to pray for these two wicked ladies, as they are going to throw down once again, and it will be a no disqualification match. And we'll see who Sherri Martel comes up with to be at her side for that rematch. All right, so here we go. Yeah, the disqualification chart, Salvador, is something I just made up on my own. And if you hit me up on Facebook Messenger, I'd happily send those to you by email, or hit me up on Discord, and I'd be glad to send those out to you. But yeah, Salvatore, think what AEW is doing with Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. I don't have a Vicky Guerrero card, but I do have a few different manager cards up my sleeve, and we'll see who Sherri selects to be her second at the championship rematch when these two go at it again at the pay-per-view broadcast on August the 8th. All right, thank you everybody for checking things out tonight. It has been a fun run here this evening. Lots of exciting action. And thank you to one and all. Philip Reynolds has joined us. Good evening, Philip, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments in the Discord earlier today, expressing your patriotic feelings. And Salvador, thanks for coming out tonight. Tribe Fan 879 was here. Who else have we got here? Our Red Sox fan was part of the chat. Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims. Missed your entrance into the chat, but thank you for checking things out here tonight on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. And I think that covers everybody who spoke up in the chat. And for those of you who check this out without joining the chat or checking this out on the rematch, thank you for checking out the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. We do baseball, we do basketball, we do wrestling, And of course, on Sundays we do My Journey with Jesus, so we'll be back on the channel tomorrow with that. But to all of you who have made this channel successful, 200 subscribers, and for everybody checking out this broadcast today, thank you all so very much. That's our stream, and I am out of here.